Hey everyone, welcome to this tutorial of Zoho SalesIQ AnswerBot and Chatbot Automation. Before we get started, let's go over what we'll be covering today. In this session, we'll be diving into four key topics. Number one, how to build a chatbot using AnswerBot, how to automate conversation with Zobot. The third one is how to set up a chatbot triggers based on the visitor actions. And the last one is how to create a chatbot workflow with Deluge scripting. But before we dive in, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Jonathan Salceda, a Zoho engineer and platform solution designer at DevTech. I've been working with Zoho Solution for over 4 years now, helping businesses streamline their processes and maximize the potential of Zoho apps. I specialize in automation, integrations, and customized solutions tailored to different business needs. So let's go ahead and pull up the live application. Let's start on building an answer bot in SalesIQ. So once you access the Zoho SalesIQ.zoho.com, you will be redirected to this dashboard. If you want to create an answer bot, you just need to navigate to the settings. Under the Zobot, we have two types of bot here. One is the Zobot, the second one is the answer bot. These two bots serve for a different purpose. Zobot is for specific use cases. AnswerBot is for handling the basic questions and provide suggestions to our customer based on the available articles, FAQ that we have in SalesIQ. So let's go ahead and click the answer bot. So by default, once you create a Zoho SalesIQ account, you will have your answer bot created. So let's try to modify this one. So under profile, you need to set up the basic info of your Zobot, like profile, the language, and the department that you want to associate with, the channels that you want to enable once you deploy your answer bot. So we have website, we have mobile app. So if you want to integrate to your existing mobile app, you can enable this one and integrate your answer bot using SD key. And you can also enable for Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, and Line. Next is we have resources. This is wherein you can enable the article, FAQ, and small talk. You can also integrate Zohodesk to synchronize the resources from Zohodesk to SalesIQ. Under the response, you can set a message if the answer was found. You can set a maximum limit of the article. You can also set a message for in case the answer is not found. Enable enable the follow-up actions like connecting to operator, leave a message, or ending a chat. For the behavior, you can set up here during non-business hours if you want to attend all incoming chats or do not attend any chats or attend chats only when operators are not available. You can also set up a criteria here. You can enable the proactive interaction based on the customer action, and you can set a greeting message using text on JSON format. And for the response interval, you can set up it here by dragging this progress bar. Just make your conversation more natural. And we also have fullbacks. So fullbacks is in case there is no available operator, you can throw a message to the customer. And same goes for if there is an operator unavailable, you can go ahead and provide a message. And same goes for system failure. you can send a message and enable some follow-up action. And on the left side or right side, you can see the sample answer bot UI that you can utilize within the Sales IQ. So that's how you're able to create and configure your answer bot. So once done, you will see here a save option. Just click it save, then your answer bot is ready to deploy. So the next one is how we're able to automate the conversation using Zobot. So to do that, we just need to navigate to the settings. Under the bot column, we have Zobot feature. Just click that one. So same goes by default. Once you created a Sales IQ account, you will have your Zobot created. So let's configure this one. We have through three. So we have three configuration that we need to set up. One is the audience criteria. So we need to set up a criteria here for us to identify which visitor type or which criteria this Zobot should work. And we can also set the trigger point if once the customer landed on the site, or if the customer click on the chat widget, or if the customer did some custom action within the website. And the last one is the bot builder, wherein you can configure your flow within your Zobot for us to achieve the conversation flow that you want to implement within your business. So let's try to click the bot builder. So as you can see here, you can see different types of cards. So the flow will start here and it will throw you a welcome card. So let's try to test our Zobot. So the first one, it will route to the welcome card, followed by our multiple options. And a criteria router will validate the selected option from the options provided. And we have two options here. The rule one, which is the exact match, and the second one is the not match. So, for example, if I select um, I want to buy, the flow will go over in this section. So let's try to do that. Test our Zobot. It will throw our welcome message option. So let's try to select I want to buy and then click confirm. As you can see here, have a nice day. This is the exact match, or the criteria has been matched. In case the criteria is not matched, it will navigate to this section, then it will automatically end the chat. So for building a flow, you just need to add some components. So for example, let's delete this one and let's add some articles. For example, you can select an article here. Select. Then once you have the article, it will show you here an option or button to select this article. Let's try to refresh. So for example, I have selected on how to add an article by default. So click save. So here, um, you won't be able to publish your flow unless you put an end chat or the dead or the last part of your process. So let's try to add end chat. Save, then try to publish. Let's try to test our bots. So as you can see here, once the bot is started, you can see a green color. So it's an indicator where the flow is working. So we have the welcome message here, which is this one. We have the option here. I'm sorry. So the welcome message is this one, and the options is this one, and the criteria router will validate based on the selected options from this option. So let's try to select um chat with support. So the flow should flow here. So it should be follow here, since we will not select the exact match based on the criteria router. So click confirm. It will be flow here, and hey, they're looking out for the best. So it will um display this one. Then the article selected will display on the bottom, and the end chat will also display at the bottom after the article is shared. So that's how we're able to automate our conversation. So of course, it will depend on your use case or requirements on your business. Of course, you can create multiple Zobot based on your use cases and modify as long as you need. So to set up a chatbot trigger based on the customer action, we need to navigate to the settings, and under automate we have triggers. So let's try to create a trigger. So we need to supply the title. So let's say um subscribe. So assuming we have a website wherein we have an embedded form with a button named subscribe. So if the customer click on subscribe, this trigger will execute it. So under the brand, if you have a multiple brand, you can select it here. But since I only have one brand, it will automatically associated. And for the audience criteria, you need to supply the criteria. So for example, the current page URL is this one. Um, assuming this is our website, so I will paste this URL under this field. And for the trigger, we need to select which trigger. So we have four options here. One is if the visitor landed on the website, or if the visitor access any page on the website, or if the agent perform a custom action. So for this case, let's try to use perform action or custom action. We need to supply a subscribe button. And for the trigger type, we have two types: invoke JS API and send in chat invite. So for this tutorial, we will use invoke using JS API. So we need to supply the JS name. So subscribe button trigger. So this trigger name, we need to supply this one once we paste this code to our website. So this is the sample or the JS API code. We need to copy this one on your website, and we need to insert the code here. So for example, um, if this button clicked by the customer, the code here should be executed like sending an invite to via email, or sending an email, or providing a discount. It will depend on your use case, but you need to copy paste this one. For example, you need to copy this one. Assuming this is my builder of my or code builder, we need to insert the code here. So um, provide, for instance, in this part, we need to provide discount to the customer and add your code here. So once you have added your code here, you need to copy paste all this script and paste it on your website source code. Then once you have added this one, every time the visitor click the subscribe button on your website, this script will automatically executed and along with the code added on the if condition. So basically, that's how we're able to set up a trigger in Sales IQ. For the case of this trigger, so for instance, if the customer landed in the chat or landed on the website, we can also set a trigger type. We can also invoke some JS API and add the code accordingly and paste it on your website. So once done, you just need to click save, and once you deploy your website, this function is ready to be executed once the criteria is met. So that's how we're able to set up a chatbot trigger based on the visitor action within the Sales IQ. There is no specific workflow, but we have a, a feature called plugs. So plugs basically this will be used for custom requirements that is not available in both builder. For instance, you want to verify some OTP, push a data to a certain application based on the bot flow. So with the help of plugs under the developers, we have plugs here. You need to add your plugs here and your custom function using Deluge scripting for you to achieve those kind of use cases. So let's go ahead and play this recording quickly so that we have a high level knowledge how plugs works.
Hello everyone, welcome to Zoho SalesIQ. In this video, we will look at what are plugs and how to use it in the codeless bot building platform. Plugs in codeless bot can be used to perform customized actions that are not present in the bot builder like OTP verification. It also helps your bot to connect with any third-party integrations. Generally, you can create a plug for your specific need and add it as a card on the codeless bot builder like the other cards you use in the bot's flow.
So um, I hope you hear what the video or the video sounds. So let's try to add a plug here. So here you need to provide the plug name, the description, and the platform that you want to build your plug. So in this case, we will use the script. So let's go ahead first to our Zobot. So we have a Zobot here. For instance, I want to send an email to a particular person if someone selected I want to buy um, value here. For instance, okay. So let's try to remove this one first and add some, let's say, hmm, let's say we'll add a plug. Okay. So we will add the plug here. So we need to provide plug name. So send email. And we will use a script to create our plug. So spaces not allowed. Click create plug. You will be redirected to the script builder. So let's take, so here once you create your plug, you will have a sample or available script as your guide. to basically build your automation. So let's say um, if the session name, let's try to test this first. Jonathan, submit. Hello, Jonathan. So as you can see here, it gives you an output response based on this code. Let's say we will uh, send an email. So let's use the Zoho that admin. So this will be the super admin ID of SalesIQ, and the recipient should be uh, my my email. And let's put some subject. Let's try to grab the name as subject, and the message should be the greeting message. For the attachment, we can remove this one for now. Let's try to test this one. So hello, Jonathan. Try to publish this one first. And let's go back to our Zobot. Let's go back to our Zobot. And under the bot builder, okay. So we need to add our plug again. I think it's not being saved. We need to select the plug here, which is the send mail. Then um, name, and we need to save. So if success, we can end the chat. This is a sample use case for us to demonstrate how the plug works in Sales IQ. So we can connect this one here. So if someone select an I want to buy from criteria router or the options available, the plug will be executed and the sent email will run and the chat will be ended. Let's try to publish. So let's try to um, test our bot. Welcome message and the option is show. We need to confirm. Criteria router is validated. The plug is executed. So the plug is executed. Let's check on my email if I receive an email. So here I have received an email. It says hello visitor. This is the plugs that I have created earlier in the Zoho SalesIQ Zobot. So that's how Zobot works in SalesIQ. Hopefully you can learn or have an insight how uh, plug will help you for your business requirements.